What's going on, everybody? I'm coming at you another review, and this time it's going to be the brand new MAFEX Comic Spider-Man version. Just got this figure in right now, and I gotta say that this might be the best 6-inch Spider-Man figure out of every figure that's ever been made. I know a lot of people are really into the old Toy Biz figures, which I myself own pretty much all of them, and I'm going to probably do a comparative segment later in the video to show you how he stands up to the other ones. And I gotta say, out of all of them, he just beats every single one that's ever been made. It was a little hard for me to make that decision, but finally having him in hand, posing him around, this guy is just literally the best all around, and you guys know how much I love Spider-Man, so that's gonna be my opinion on it going forward in this review. So without further ado, let's see what this guy's about. First things first, I want to go through the accessories real quick. He actually comes with two heads. First one is the Peter Parker head. I think the Peter Parker head is pretty clean. They did a good paint job of it. Usually MAFEX is really bad at doing human faces, and I think it's probably because of the real people, but since this is a comic figure, they did a better job at it this time. I'm not really sure what rendition this is supposed to be a Peter Parker, but looks pretty good. I'm probably going to be using it later. And then second, we get this alternate head for Peter. Just a little angular eyes compared to the one that comes on him in the box. Now the one that comes on him in the box, the eyes are a little more wider. Personally, my opinion, I think that this rendition of Spider-Man isn't the McFarlane. I think this is Mark Bagley. Maybe it's a mix, but in my opinion, this looks more like Mark Bagley than it does McFarlane because of the eyes. Let's compare it to this figure right here. This is one of the Spider-Man Classics heads. The eyes are very Mark Bagley. They kind of look the same. And I have the McFarlane Spider-Man, or the Campbell Spider-Man right here. You know, it looks a little different. The eyes are a little bigger. But those are Toy Biz figures. I'm probably going to do a little comparison later. But yeah, those are the heads that he comes with. Set that aside for now. And then he comes with a stand, like all MAFEX figures do. You can put it around his waist. Something that I didn't really get is it came with one of these. It's supposed to peg in the back, but he doesn't come with a hole. So it's kind of useless, but they gave it to us anyway, so whatever. Next, he comes with two open hands for some other posing. He comes with a crumpled up mask, so that looks pretty good, and it actually goes into this hand right here that has a hole in it, like that. So he can hold it well right there. So that looks pretty good. And then he comes with two flipping hands. One of them is already on him. Pretty nicely posed. He comes with two open hands. They're just little relaxed hands, not as wide as the other two. Then he comes with two fists that were already on him on the box. He comes with a lot of webs. So here's one that's sprayed out. That one looks pretty good. There's a small connector here, so I'm guessing this is for this right here. I think it goes inside. You can kind of put it on the stand, have him like yanking something. It's up to you what you want to do with it. And he comes with three web shots. They go around his wrist peg. I'll show you real quick, just so you can get a demonstration of how that looks. Hands are very easy to take off. I appreciate that. Sometimes MAFEX, they make their hands difficult to peg on, but the loop just goes through over the peg right there, and the hand goes in very nicely. Then you got that backwards. There we go. So that looks good. You can have him flipping like that. And then he's got another longer one of the same design right here. And then he's got like a web yank, I think, That's what this is, because it comes with another open hand. You can slide this in here like so. And then one of the cooler features is it actually comes with the magnetic set of hands and a magnetic set of feet. So he's got 2 magnetic feet and 2 magnetic hands, like I said, so you can play around with that, put them on your refrigerator or other metal surfaces. And that's basically all the accessories that it comes with, so it's pretty good range. Comes with a lot of cool stuff, so you can mix and match the head sculpts however you like. So now that we have gone over all the accessories, let's get into the actual figure. First thing I want to talk about is the paint job. The paint job is something that makes this figure pop. There's a lot of cool shading spots right here on the red and on the black. The blue kind of shines here. I remember that the blue was gonna kind of be a metallic color, but I'm glad they didn't go with that route. It used to look like real shiny, but it doesn't actually come off like that. It's more of a matte finish. It just looks really shiny because of the lighting that I have on it. Paint job is very clean, one of the cleanest ones that I've seen from MAFEX, and it actually looks a lot better than the Toy Biz shading. I know a lot of people like to compare the Toy Biz ones to this one, saying that it's better, but I like Toy Biz a lot too, and this is a lot cleaner than all this mess you have right here. This is one of my favorite figures, by the way, Snapshot Spider-Man. The black is just kind of everywhere here. You know, it's in one spot with a lot of it, and it looks kind of weird. I don't really mind it. I still like that figure a lot, but this is just like perfect to me on what a Spider-Man should look like. I'm gonna say this is probably Ultimate Spider-Man because just the design looks so similar, but he's kind of buff for it. But I really like how it came out. Got the spider here, so that looks really good. And the back is a spider right there. So yeah, they really outdid themselves here. And next thing I want to get into is the articulation. The articulation is just great. First of all, he's got his head on this neck peg. The head can move all the way around. And let me show you really quick how to change the head. Very easy. It's on a ball peg. If you want to put on the other head real quick, we can do that. Not hard, it doesn't feel like I'm going to break it. So the neck articulation is just great. Moves all the way around. And then to change the Peter head, you just pop off that neck. Again, very easy. Not in any way does it feel like it's gonna break. So that looks pretty good right there too. Take that off. Let's go ahead and put on the other head real quick. So swapping the heads and swapping the necks are very easy, so you should have no problem doing that. Let's get into the other parts of the articulation. He's got butterfly joints that work really great. Swivels all the way out, all the way in. And usually sometimes these figures feel fragile, but this one doesn't. It feels pretty well made, pretty sturdy. So that looks really good there. He's got a bicep swivel right here. So that's pretty good. He's got his double jointed arms, works perfectly. He's got his swivel on the hand and then a hinge. And then the abdomen has a lot of good articulation too. Moves around like that. I was a little worried that this wasn't going to have a good of a crunch, but I think for me what makes the Spider-Man look good is how much crunch that he has if he can do crouching poses, and I think you can get a lot of them done because there's an extra give right here on the waist. You can also move the waist around too, so you can move that this far forward. Everything right there looks really good. He can do the splits a little bit this way, not so much going back because this butt piece kind of hinders that movement going back. I guess that's something that's a little negative there. But he's got his thigh swivel right here on the upper part of the leg, and then he's got his double jointed knee, looking very nice. They did a really good job at hiding that joint. No ankle swivel, but we don't really need it because we got this ball right here. Moves all the way up, side to side, and then we got toe hinge, which is really great. I think it's wonderful that they included that because I think it just gives you more options on posing. And as you can see right here, he can get into a good crouching pose. So honestly, just this being one of the first comic figures that MAFEX has made, they really outdid themselves with this Spider-Man because everything about this guy is just perfect. The only complaint I would have is the this part. You can't really move the leg as back as you would want to, and I know a lot of other figures you can, but I just think they really outdid themselves with this guy. It's just a really clean figure. One of the reasons why I think it's one of the best, because it just has a clean aesthetic. The paint's clean. Love the eyes. It fits in with a lot of other lines. It's pretty much 6 inches. It's about the same size as the Pizza Spider-Man right here. So I'll do a little size comparison real quick to show you. So here Spidey is next to some of the cream of the crop Toy Biz and Hasbro Spider-Man figures that a lot of people like to say that are the best. This is actually First and Foes custom right here, but I just have it here in the picture for comparative purposes. Got the McFarlane or Todd Spider-Man or J. Scott Campbell, whatever you want to call him. Snapshot's still one of my favorites. Sinister Six and the Hasbro Spidey right there. And you know, I just really think that this figure captivates a mixture of all these figures into one figure. It, you know, like this one, this head sculpt is a little similar, just a little bit, to the eyes, but it just looks more of an Ultimate Spider-Man look like this one has, with the big eyes. It's got the classic red and blue, not too light blue, but not too dark. Has really good shading. Not to mention the articulation. It doesn't look really like wonky, you know. Like, I admit that some of these, like the Snapshot and the Sinister Six, have the same mold, I think. Well, slightly the same. They're very bulky and just sometimes looks a little weird aesthetically. Doesn't really bother me. I still think that these figures are amazing, and I'm not gonna sell them or anything. Like, it's not like when I get this guy, I'm like, oh, forget all these. I don't want them anymore. No, that's not it at all. It's just, this is another Spider-Man that I could add to my collection, and I just feel like this is one of the best. A lot of people have different opinions, but that's mine. And if you guys want to see any other reviews, let me know. This is probably it that I'll have to say about this figure. Stay tuned for some pictures at the end of the video, and look out for some more posts on my Instagram. I'm going to be posting some more pics of this guy if you want to see him again. And thanks for checking out the video.